Welcome to One Question at a Time, the TSI series. Question number 6. Which of the following equations has both 1 and -3 as solutions? So we have to review on the keyword solutions. What solution mean? Solution mean when x equal a number, and when you plug in that number into the equations, the equation will be equal 0. So we have 4 equations with the degree of 2 or quadratic equations. Usually we will have ax squared plus bx plus c that equals 0. Now to find the solutions, when the equations, the left hand side equals 0, what is x? So that is the questions. Now the question gives you the solutions. It means you have one solution, x equal 1. Another one is x equal -3. Okay, let's do forwards. So if we have equations ax squared plus px plus c equals 0, we can do factor of x as some number. Let's do 1 and then add some number 2, and that equals 0. Now we solve for x using the 0 term. So it will be x equal minus number 1 or x equal minus number 2. So in this case, we're not following forwards. That was like that. We go upward because we have given this information. So how we have downwards, so how we have it, so we have x plus number 1, we set it equal 0, x plus number 2 equals 0, and if we saw the first one, we subtract both sides by number 1. So that's how we have this cancel and x equal negative number 1. Do the same with x plus number 2. We subtract number 2 both sides. And then we have x equal negative number 2. Now the given is negative number 1 and negative number 2. Or we just say x equals something, right? So now we can see that we can have given x equal 1, that's the first solution, and x equal -3, the second solution. And for the quadratic, we only have maximum 2 solutions. That's the number of the degree, the high degree. Okay, now we have that, right? Now we want to go upwards. So we do opposites. So we have x equal 1 and x equal -3. We want to move the number to the left hand side with x, and then let the right hand side equal 0. So to do that, I will do -1 both sides. So I have x minus 1 that equals 0. So I have my first factor right here. Alright, now the second one I do subtract. They have -3, so to be 0 on the right hand side, I have to add 3. So if I add 3 one side, I have to add to another side. Well, so I have the second factor, x plus 3, right? Now I go up this step, I have x minus 1 times x plus 3, that equal 0. Now I can fold it in to get the equations or distribute. So let's do that, and I call this method is the first one. So to be continued, the first one I will have x minus 1 at the first factor times x plus 3 at the second factor, and I do the distributions. So x times x is x squared, x times 3 is plus 3x, negative 1 times x is minus x, and negative 1 times 3 is minus 3. Now we combine like term, so we have 3x minus x, so the leftover is x squared plus 2x minus 3. 3x minus x is 2x. And we can see that B is the right answer, right? But we can have the second method. It was faster when we do the multiple choice and we don't remember to do backwards like method 1. So what we do is we consider x equal 1. Method number 2, we plug in x equal 1 to check if A make it equal 1 when we do plug in 1, B, C, D, we do around, right? Whenever it check and it's yes, it's make it A right, the statement right, we can continue with x equal minus 3, we plug in again. So this is try, and if we don't get it, it could be the wrong answer. So when we plug in, let's plug in x equal 1 in A. So we have 1 squared minus 2 times 1 is 2 minus 3. 1 minus 2 is negative 1 minus 3, negative 4. So it's not equal 0. We only plug in the left-hand side of the equations to check if it's 0. If it's not 0, this one different from 0, so we don't have to check this answer, right? So now we try B. We say 1, x equal 1, so 1 squared plus 2 times 1 is 2 minus 3. Now that equals 0. Now we continue with x equal negative 3. So we have negative 3 squared plus 2 times negative 3 minus 3. So that will be equal 9 minus 6 minus 3, and that equals 0. So B look like the nice answer. But to making sure, we will check on C and D as well, right? So we're checking on C. Let's see, when x equal 1, we have 1 minus 4 plus 3 on the left hand side, right? So it could be 1 minus 4 is negative 3 plus 3, that's 0. Now we check C equal negative when x equal negative 3. So we have negative 3 squared minus 4 times negative 3 plus 3. And 9 plus 12 plus 3. So you see that it's all positive number add up. So even I don't need to make the complete answer, but I know that answer should be greater than 0. It's not 0. So, not C. Okay? So now I can try D. Let's see. So we have when x equals 1, 1 square plus 4 times 1 is 4 plus 3. So all positive number, right? 5, 8, I know it's positive, is 8. And this one greater than 0, so not D, right? Just one of them not match is mean the rest doesn't matter. As long as both of them have to be the solutions or make the left-hand side of the equation equal 0. That's why this, in the case of x equals -3 in A, I didn't do it because I know the first one fell, so I don't have to try the second one. Just like D, the first one fell, so the second one I don't have to check it. But for C, the first one is right, but then the second one it fell. So both of them have to be fell. The only choice is B. It have the solution x equals 1 and x equals -3. So we choose that. So B will be the answer. Thank you for participating in this series. See you next time.